September the 10th. Thank you for stopping by. Grab a coffee and let's get smarter together. COVID didn't mean for me that my brain ever stopped churning. This drive to generate a model of the world from data points that ring true is strong. The certainty that much of what we believe to be reality and was out of our control and our power to change is the work of our creativity that fills in giant holes to deliver us a stringent story and a continuous self is like rocket fuel, because creativity is fat. We seek inspiration from outside sources. That's incredible because it leads to our desire to share our models of the world with one another. We exchange stories. In the process, however, factual data points are shared, as well as information in the shape of energy that isn't meant for our conscious consumption, but for the body, the cells, the energy pattern inside the wave function that we are. And yet, the test for what goes into the world model generation process in our mind is not for factual truth. It's for making sense in a continuous way. The world needs to go on. It can't be interrupted and start again in any way. Since we start out with only little data, there will always be tons of incongruities that must be overcome, and tons of ways will be available as to how the holes could be filled. Those with a few suggestions here and there, especially when we are still learning how the generation process is accomplished, and we aren't even aware that we generate our own model of the world because no one tells us, we can easily be diverted from what the natural fallbacks are that must exist. Diversions that might get reinforced and refined over time and generations. So, the greatest problem we probably face today, after the longest period of stable climate favorable for human survival that lasted millennia, that freed up time for living in our heads, is to identify how far astray we've been led by self-serving players. Where did the fiction run away with us to our detriment? And as I was lying there with COVID, my eyes closed because using them seemed too much work, I realized that what I do here needs more focus. Or better phrased, I always had one question in mind when collecting the scientific data across fields about the body and mind, but it always ever only lurked in the background. What I need to do is put it front and center. So here it is. What would a fair society look like? Wherein fair goes back to the science, the spherical cow of a human functioning without the interference of the mind. The determination of the why. Why did humans develop the way they did? Fitness for survival alone doesn't cut it, because nothing, including humans, is an end in itself when it comes to the physical universe. Believing that insight into this will enable us to, for example, discern behavior that is the least action to achieve the goals for all. Starting with questions of what is society, considering what we know about the mind, and how do we get agreement on what fair really means when the reality we all live in is not shared. So we have to find a way to make it shareable. To come to a united model in some way we can consent on. I will base my discussions on the theories of the American political philosopher John Rawls, who has argued for a form of liberalism that is as far away from the neoliberalism of Thatcher and Reagan, and it's the market will take care of everything kind of thinking that is still practiced today as it gets. I have a feeling the work will also lead us to the rediscovery of the importance of our sixth sense, the feel for energies, the energies that allow us to speak words, because we send energy to our tongue and everything, to form them, or to get up out of a chair, because we, with our mind, send energies to the muscles and that allows us to stretch and bend them. The same energies will probably be a much bigger focus when we just go back to a natural way of thinking about humans. A way of self-focus that isn't selfish, when we focus on sensing our energies, because we are focusing on us, it is a way of self-centeredness, but it is directed out into the world and onto others because we are trying to sense their energies. Sounds a little bit esoteric, I know, but in the end, we are energy. We are waves. And so we will have a way of feeling them. We do, if we just focus enough. And all the reality we create is energy as well. Just vibrations. Vibes. Yes, vibes. So more but focused exploration ahead. I'm excited. Like, comment, share and follow lest you miss a single opportunity to improve yourself and society. Once you do, we'll meet again. Us too. At the coffee pot.